Hello YouTube, thank you for tuning into our channel, and be sure to check out our website at www.10-78.info. You'll find a lot of great information on that site, so I hope to see you there. Now, I am Elsie Harold, and today's topic is how to start your disaster group. What a disaster group is, it's generally a network of people you trust who possess specific skill sets that'll help you and your group survive when disaster strikes. Now, it's much easier to have your group in place than trying to start one and find people, after the fact. So let's begin. We're going to start with step one, which is choosing your members, and be sure to choose them wisely. Okay? You're going to be stuck with these people for extended periods of time and under very uncomfortable circumstances. So, do you really want to be stuck with this guy? I don't think so. So be sure to choose trustworthy people, people who won't slack off or try to manipulate other members of your group. You need to be able to communicate well, work together, and be on the same page in order to get through a situation. Another thing you want to do is look for people in your geographic closeness. Choose people within your area, I'd say no more than 5 to 10 miles away from you, so in case transportation is down, everybody can trek on foot within a reasonable amount of time and meet in your designated area. It would be nice also to find a financial backer. Maybe one of your group members has the funds to purchase all your prepping supplies and materials. It's always nice to have someone who could do that. Another thing you want to consider is choosing people who are physically fit. Like again I said, there might be a time when you're going to have to travel long distances on foot. And also choose people within various age groups. It's good to have a balance. Different age groups have different views on things and different ideas. So choose people in different age groups. Now, specific skill sets. It's good to have members in your group who are knowledgeable in at least 2 from this list. The first being medical expertise, and that includes doctors, nurses, EMTs, and pharmacists. Second would be machinery and engineering. It's always good to have an auto mechanic or an engineer around. Herbology and gardening is another one. You'll need to farm your own land at one point, so farmers, botanists, gardeners, and landscapers. Weaponry and close quarters fighting. That includes police officers, armed security. Military is a really good, well-rounded individual to have. Hunting. You're going to need a hunter who's going to hunt food for you. Also, people who know about electricity and green energy, such as electricians, utility technicians, and maintenance men. An architect or construction worker, a carpenter is always good to have around when you need to build your shelter. And, of course, a tailor, seamstress, or a pattern maker to make clothes should the ones that you have wear down. Alright, now, the second step would be to plan. Have group meetings, keep organized, and always keep in contact so that you guys stay on the same page. Okay? Form some type of government for your group just to keep everything organized and in order. Whether you want to be like the US and have a democracy, do a dictatorship, run like the Spartans and have an oligarchy, or, if you want to do communism and do as the Smurfs do, that's totally up to you. As long as you all agree on the type of government, do choose some form of government. Vote and hold elections for people to fill those governing positions. Just keeping everything organized and under control. Another thing would be to do scenario assessment. Make action plans for different scenarios and different disasters so that everyone in your group has a designated plan, a designated duty, when disaster strikes. And always keep track of your funding, your prep funding, so that there are no questions about money and whatnot. Now, step 3 would be to claim a spot. You want to claim a place for your new civilization. Make sure you have maps and coordinates so everybody is on the same page and knows exactly where to go. Somewhere in the woods is not a great answer. You have to know exactly where you guys are going. And also know the weather conditions in all seasons for that area so that you're prepared. You don't want to go to an area that you staked out in the summer and a disaster strikes in winter and you're totally unprepared, freezing your asses off. Okay? Now, the more remote the better. Stay away from the cities. When initial disaster strikes, it's going to trigger, more disasters, both human and not. Cities will be prone to sewer floods, fires from broken gas lines, and structural damages, and you better believe that people will riot and loot. So, stay away from the cities and be as remote as possible. That leads us to step 4. Step 4 is build. Build shelter on your compound and consider using on-site materials. For example, if you are hiding out in forest, you can use lumber, but make sure you have the right tools and equipment, to cut the trees down, okay? Do consider building with cob, which is a building material made of clay, earth, straw, and sand. Not only is it strong, it can resist seismic activity, it's also fireproof, inexpensive, and it keeps temperatures constant for longer periods of time. So it's great for the desert. It's great, for practically any type of environment. Step 5 is to stock and hoard. Clothing. Make sure you have clothing made of sturdy materials like denims, twills. You want to have waterproof items as well, and items for the winter, just in case we have an ice age. Water. Make sure you have a fresh water source in your area, or an H2O collection and filtration system in place. Grains. It's good to pack about 300 pounds of grains per person, and when packed properly, that can actually last up to 30 years. So grains is one. Make sure there's a local food source. If you're by the water, you want to consider fish. If you're in the woods, deer and other game is a good thing. But also start a side garden on top of that. It takes a year to grow crops, so it would be nice to have stuff growing already ready to eat when you retreat to your spot. If not, MREs is another thing to fall back on, which is meals ready to eat. They're just freeze-dried meals. They're familiar, and they don't taste bad at all either, and they're cheap. Stock up on vitamins and medicine. Guaranteed the first year you're not eating the same as you did before the disaster, so you'll probably have a vitamin deficiency, and you want to keep illness and sickness away, so stock up on those vitamins and meds. Step 6 is to study. Get a library going, build your library so that everyone in your group can increase their skill set. Everybody should know about first aid, how to recognize and treat cuts, stings, broken bones, hypothermia, and dehydration. Everybody should know how to prepare food and properly storage it. That brings us back to gardening, pull your share. Camping in the wilderness exercises are a great way. Actually, it's a great, survival exercise. Self-defense. Everyone in your group should know how to defend themselves and everyone, all the other people in your group. You can't just depend on that one person, okay? Step 7 would be to condition, prepare your mind, spirit, and body. First off, pray. Find faith. Faith is going to come in handy in an anxiety-induced society. Meditate. A clear mind helps you make better decisions and be on top of things. Hiking and camping, again, as I said, is a good conditioning exercise. And again, self-defense. You want to make sure that you're going to defend you and your group against looters and rioters and raiders who are going to try to steal your food and whatnot. So the last step would be to watch out, keep an eye out, watch the news, watch what the numerologists are saying, look at what the scientists are saying, watch the weather. Keep an eye out for any suspicious activity so that you are ready before the news actually breaks out. It's better safe than sorry. And, so this actually concludes my list of stuff that I would do to start my prepper group or my disaster group. So good luck. If you want to learn more about this topic, just go to our forum at www.10-78.info and be sure to click on the tab that says Survival Groups and start a group in your area today. Okay, hope to see you there. Bye.